Welcome, everyone, to the first Bischel Ball episode of the 2026 season. I'm JP Sponseller, joined by Corey Klingenbeck and Cole Harding, as always. Boys, first off, let's kick this thing off. Yeah, one, we are back.
Bischel Ball, back.
How are we feeling after last night's win? Because I don't know about you guys, but this Diet Mountain Daisy is tasting just a little bit sweeter today after that win.
Yeah, we're feeling great. By the way, they showed it a couple times. Coach B reaching up there. He's had it stashed up there on like the helmet boxes or whatever.
He stashes them.
Yeah.
He mixes
He's trying to hide it. He's trying to hide it from the cameras this year.
Back to your question, JP. Dangerous. I'm feeling dangerous, buddy. Dangerous and effective. I mean, it's kind of
huge win over the preseason ranked number 9 Auburn Tigers last night. I have a little tidbit there. First SEC win for Bearcats baseball since March 8th of 2017 over the Kentucky Wildcats. So I know not a ton of opportunities against SEC opponents, but still, given the opportunities had, first win in 9 years against the SEC. So
wow.
That's motion. That's motion for the Bulls.
Yeah, they're there. We're ready. Let's go.
Special.
3-1 week for the Bearcats. Went down to Jacksonville State, took the series, dropped the Sunday game, and then get that win over Auburn last night. Let's jump into our recap. First things first, let's talk about this game 1 against Jacksonville State. An 11-5 win for the Bearcats. We had our ace, Nate Taylor, out there on the mound. Not the best start from Nate. He went 3 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs, 1 earned on 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Honestly, I was kind of in and out at the beginning of the game, so I wasn't able to watch a ton of what was going on. Again, even if it wasn't his best day, not his best stuff, not really much of a concern out of me at all. I think he's going to get in midseason form here pretty quick.
Absolutely. You know, Nate did I think he was held to a pitch count, which is very understandable. First game of the year, which was good to see, and him dominate through 3-4 innings. I know he ran into a little bit of a struggle there in the fourth just from a botched double play up the middle. But, you know, the dude does what he has to do. He throws the ball over the plate, and he makes him put it in play, and he hits his spots.
Yeah. Yeah, and the offense really helped him out early. Getting out to a 7-0 lead there in the 3rd inning. I got a couple clips that I will show here real quick, starting with the Derek Pitts RBI single in the 3rd.
And Felice watching, has its line to the right side by Pitts. Green light is on. Here comes the play at the plate. No, there could not be a play as the first baseman, Orlando Pena, bobbled the relay.
1, great piece by Derek Pitts. 2, how about Enzo and Felice
around some hustle,
chugging?
KP giving him the wave around with no outs.
And you know that dugout felt the ground shaking when he was rounding third.
That's been the funniest thing is, like, you guys know I haven't watched a single inter squad of this team being out in Colorado. And we've heard about Enzo and Felice from Coach Bischel. You saw him on the exit velo boards all throughout the fall. I had no idea this kid was an absolute unit of a freshman.
I love it.
He's got to be like, what, 230, 240? I don't know.
He's a big boy.
But he's athletic, man. He can move.
Yeah.
It's
got
awesome
that stolen base last night. Reading the picture.
He probably needs to work on that slide at home, but I'm sure that they'll get it cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, that one scared me a little bit. We don't need any dislocated shoulders or anything like that. But, dude, in all honesty, him grabbing the stolen base last night, getting like the early shuffle, at least just shows you like that the kid's he's bought in. Like they're up 6-0 and he's trying to swipe a bag on a pitcher who's not paying attention to him. So I loved it.
No breaks when the Bearcats are on base.
They like this dude a lot last time on the broadcast. I heard. I mean, I do remember faintly in the fall when he did commit, or maybe in the spring of last year when he did commit to Cincy. I totally forgot he was committed to Oklahoma. He was going to be a Sooner.
Was he?
Yeah, he was committed to Oklahoma. Some things probably got jabbled around there. I don't know what happened, but KP worked his magic, got him to be a Bearcat, so that's huge.
Let's
Props
go.
to KP. Big shout out to Petarudo, third base coach. So if you're ever seeing him, just give him hell, Bearcats fans. Give him hell.
Yeah, he gave us a retweet today on the show, so he definitely wants people to tune in. But no, right after that in the third inning, Charlie Niehaus, holy smokes, got the 2 RBI double here to put us up 7.
Mm-hmm. Here's the payoff. And that's towards the gap in left center field, and it's going to roll to the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs will score, and diving into second base is Charlie Niehaus, who nicely makes up for those 2 strikeouts with a double.
There you go. The ump trying to chirp him a little bit there at the end, mentioning his 2 punch outs. Also overestimated Chuck's juice a little bit, saying that ball rolled to the wall. Got cut off there. But no, Niehaus, big to see him. I know he struggled a little bit offensively through these first 4 games, but definitely a huge RBI knock for him there to get the Bearcats up 7-0. And then they handed the ball off to Carson Marsh, who actually got the win in Friday's game. Went 3 innings pitched, no runs, no hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. And I know everyone on social media saw the clip of him being the psycho that he is coming off the mound. I tell you what, folks, Cole, I know we talked about him a lot last year as kind of like an X factor for this team down the stretch, and phenomenal freshman year, really up and down last year. If the Bearcats can count on Carson Marsh in the back end of that bullpen, adding Buskowski in his sophomore year, I think that's going to be a huge help down the stretch.
Yeah. I think him and Nate are very similar when it comes to like just filling up the zone, getting ahead. Like that's their big thing. It's just getting ahead of hitters, just throwing strikes, putting the pressure on the batter. Like, hey, I'm going to throw strikes. We're going to force you to put the ball in play. And then obviously I think his slider is just going to get better every year. It looks like he's got a pretty wipeout slider. So when he does get ahead in the count with that fastball, able to locate it and then throws that slider, I mean, he's a tough matchup for any hitters, especially right-handed hitters.
And it seemed like that was more than anything last year where he would get into trouble, is just getting behind in counts.
Yep, I would agree.
Not a ton of walks. I mean, but it was like, okay, you walk a guy, then getting a 2-0 count. That's when he would get in trouble.
Yep, but I mean, I don't think he would have asked to. You can't really start or your first outing can't be much better than what he just had.
No,
followed it up with another solid outing last night. Hopefully he looks locked in. Hopefully we'll continue to see that throughout like next couple games and stuff like that when gets another chance to get back out on the mound.
Yeah, hopefully that was just a huge kind of confidence boost for him to start this junior campaign for the Cincy native Carson Marsh. But yeah, the Bearcats ended up winning that game 11-5. A couple offensive performances to point out. Derek Pitts was 3 for 5 with an RBI and a walk. And the newcomer, I guess he was on the team last year, but I believe this was his first ever start as a Bearcat. Ryan Taransky was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a walk. He was a guy who I know I've mentioned on here before. I got to watch in some inter squads last year that I really liked. Good to see him kind of get some confidence under his belt as well, getting 2 knocks in his first start there.
For sure.
All right, now let's move on to game 2. Which was a 6-5 win. Ended up being a little bit of a nail biter. No broadcasts on day 2, which really sucked.
Brutal. Figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know if there was – I believe there was like a basketball game or another event where they took their crew. Harding, remember like in 22 and in 23, like when women's basketball was still playing, they would do all of our games from just the like up in the press box. Yeah, brutal view. Yeah,
and it was a smaller camera. Like it was just a tough broadcast to watch. It's almost like, would I rather have no broadcast than that? But
right,
each his own.
It's like having a game changer when you were playing like 12U with the phone and behind the home plate.
Yeah.
Like, hey, figure it out. Like,
hey, we were all mid-major guys once before. We got to cut him a little bit of slack.
I mean, my first 2 years of college baseball weren't even like publicized.
Yeah, your games were probably filmed on a microwave.
Yeah, they were with a scoreboard that hardly even worked.
But anyway, 6-5 win. We got to see the Bearcat debut from Logan Knight, the North Dakota State transfer. Again, wasn't really able to see much visually, but from what I see on paper and on stats, he did a hell of a job, was super efficient. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Looks like he did a phenomenal job of just filling up the zone. And I mean, being able, Clayton, you mentioned the pitch count, being able to go 6 innings on a pitch count opening weekend, you got to be working pretty efficient there.
That's good. I mean, that's solid ball. I like the way this coaching staff is thinking. They're working. You know, they want every guy to contribute, but they also want every guy to stay healthy for all 56 this year and continue into postseason baseball.
Yeah, the Bearcats were able to get out to a 2-0 lead with RBI singles by Jack Natilli and Quentin Coates. The Gamecocks tied it back up in the 6th, and that is when we got a huge solo home run from Quentin Coates to put us up 3-2 in the 7th. And then in the 7th, 3-2 ball game, Coach Bischel goes to the bench. Pinch hits the newcomer from Bradley, Jackson Smith, for Luke Sefcik in that situation, and comes up with, I mean, talk about a debut. I know he started Friday, but really a coming out party for Jackson Smith. Gets a pinch hit 3-run homer to extend that lead there to 6-2. As he said, no broadcast, but our guy Ethan Harrison was on site and he was doing work with the camera there. But yeah, what a knock from Jackson Smith. I mean, boys, we all know how tough it is to come off the bench.
Yeah. I mean, alone coming off the bench, getting a bomb. But props to this dude. I mean, coming from Bradley, smaller school, you know, making his mark in the first 4 games of the year, starting 2 of them. And, you know, putting his nose in there and going to work, buying into Coach Bischel's process and seeing what he does. But, I mean, I'm all for this guy right now. What's up, Smitty?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Kling, not even just a great like coming out party for the first couple games, but even through all 4 games, I think he's looked pretty comfortable at the plate so far, especially when he's gotten thrown in there at the top of the lineup sometimes. I just like – I mean, he seems to – have a really good approach going into each at bat and has been putting the ball in play quite a bit, which is good to see.
That, and I think at least I don't think we've got to see it a ton yet, but it looks like he can really run. I mean, he's got that, like, he's got long legs. He looks like he's a pretty twitchy kid. I don't know. It just seems like he's going to be a guy that, as he continues to get more comfortable at the plate and in this lineup, I feel like he's going to be able to cause some havoc in this offense for us.
Yeah, he's got some speed too. He's able to steal a couple bases, I believe. He does maybe need a bigger helmet or a smaller helmet. That thing, I think I've seen it fall off like 3 or 4 times, but I'm sure they can get that figured out.
Not everyone has your head size.
Well, I needed a bigger helmet all the time, but
he might have a peanut head.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Jack State, they did battle back there, which ended up being why this 3-run homer was so huge. Yeah. They did battle back in the 8th and 9th. We went to Adam Buskowski, our fireman, to kind of put things out. He did get himself into a little bit of trouble there, but he ended up getting the save, had 1 1/3, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts, and we will go to show you the final out there of Game 2 from Mr. Buskowski.
Let's go, Butch! Let's go, Butch! Yeah! Trust your Attaboy.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another thing I forgot to mention in both of those videos, just love the juice that both of those guys are showing. Definitely fired me up. I know all of us love to see that energy, especially on opening weekend. But yeah, fired me up. One, Jackson Smith being a newcomer to the Bearcats, showing some emotion there in a big spot. Loved it. And then Mr. Buskowski, locking it down. I'm expecting big things out of him. So if we can get some confidence in him and him showing some energy out there after big saves, I would love that all season long.
Yeah, I mean, energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. It's the 3 E's. I think those were both on display, and or all of them were on display in both of those clips. But yeah, it just makes the game more fun when you play with energy. You can obviously see that they were ready to get out there this weekend and finally start playing someone in a different uniform.
Yeah, and a couple offensive performances from that game. Quentin Coates was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and that solo home run. And then Mr. Smith, 1 for 1 with 3 RBIs and a homer. Quite the day. And then if we move on to the Sunday game, disappointing game. Whenever you get shut out on a Sunday, I feel like that's just kind of a knife in the heart. Like you're at the end of, hopefully you're at the end of the bullpen and some of the pitching. And I will say though, if you guys watched Friday, that starting pitcher they had, he must have had some serious control issues in the past, because when that dude was in the zone, he was nasty. I mean, he was running it up to 95, 96 from the left side, had a good slider.
Talked to some of the boys. They said he was up to 98 on Sunday.
Yeah.
But over the broadcast, if some of you guys didn't catch it, it was very tough, struggling outings at Alabama and Tuscaloosa. So he made his way over to Jacksonville State to, I think, figure it out, get a few more innings. So he struggled at Alabama. Wanted to go to a smaller school, probably pitch a lot more than he wanted to at Alabama. So he made his way over to Jacksonville State and obviously made his way in the starting role. So, and that's what I guess the scouting report was too. I mean, you saw the first inning, he got 1 or 2 quick outs and he walked 4. Right. And then it was all hell break loose for 2 or 3 innings for us on the base pass. And then we never found a way to cross the plate. So,
yeah. And you did see the control issues there at times, which I thought, knowing the Bearcats, we take advantage of that in a heartbeat. Just couldn't get the big knock. And when he was in the zone, he was super effective and we couldn't really get anything going off him.
I mean, he had five walks with 7 strikeouts, which, I mean, isn't brutal, but that's not what you want to see on the box score, I don't think, at the end of the day.
No.
You have a little bit less walks and probably a little bit more strikeouts in the way he was.
He was getting strikeouts. If he just gets it back in the zone, I mean, he probably bumps that number up a little.
Yeah, lefties were struggling against him.
Yeah, I noticed that
awfully.
Too. Seemed like we were pretty late.
Yeah,
on some of those.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
It does happen.
It happens. But no, we got to see another Bearcat debut, the transfer from Northern Illinois, Adam Brower. He had 3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. I thought he pitched pretty well. I honestly like what I saw out of him as far as being in a Sunday role too. I feel like he really, I mean, outside of if he can cut down on the walks, which is, I think, the main thing that kind of contributed to his early exit. But as far as if he's able to cut down on the walks and fill up the zone with the stuff that he has on a Sunday, I don't know. I feel like he's just going to be able to be pretty efficient and be one of those guys where, like, could get hit around, but also, I mean, he's going to get a lot of ground ball fly out, weak contact. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys watch, any thoughts on Brower's debut?
I did not catch the first couple innings, no, but I would like to mention another Bearcat starting debut, Jackson Reardon, over across the river from Covcath. Shout out to him. Shout out to one of our boys, Adam Schneider, for getting him across the river over the good side in Cincy. I know he was a big cue behind that 8 ball, so I know he talked him into staying home a little bit. So I know Petarudo was on his high horse about this guy, and he looked fantastic. I mean, he notched 1 for 2 starting.
Yeah.
So 1 for 2 with a walk. I mean, that's not half bad.
No,
Yeah, John.
especially in a game where you're not getting really much help around you offensively, right? Like hitting could be contagious. It makes it a little bit easier for those freshmen and young guys to get going a little more. So yeah.
I didn't get to catch the first part of this game really either, but I will agree with you. Exactly what you would want out of your Sunday guy is just fill up the zone.
Yeah.
The big thing, it's kind of hard to explain, but until you're like in the moment or you've played like a full weekend. But especially if you've had like some longer games, the first 2 days, you just want your pitcher to be in the zone. Especially ultimately when you possibly be low on some bullpen arms on that series finale day. So, yeah, just fill up the zone. If he continues to do that, I'm sure he'll be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, similar to a midweek, right? Like just pace of play is important. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. But I do want to shout out 2 other Bearcat debuts. We got 2 freshmen who I thought looked absolutely disgusting in this game. Chad Brown threw 3 innings, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He was running that fastball up there in the 90s, nasty slider. I thought he looked really good. And then Connor Blue, 2 innings pitched, no runs, no hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So, I mean, I was at least coming out of a 1-0 loss. Very happy with the pitching performances out of some of our young guys and just the stuff in general. Just thinking about the longevity of the season and how many guys that we might be able to turn to here in that bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like last year it was just we were like 1 or 2 bullpen arms away some weekends. Like we just needed one guy to step in and fill in a spot or eat up a few innings. And now, I mean, this year we're adding, if these freshmen continue to throw like they did, that's a couple more pieces that can eat up some innings. We also got like Garula back.
Yeah.
Who looked good last night. I think that was his second outing last night. I forget. I think he threw on maybe Friday night as well.
He came in Friday and walked a couple guys early. Yeah. Not his best outing, but yeah, he looked great last night. Definitely good to see him bounce back.
Yeah, putting dudes in pretzels.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just getting, like I said, that maybe 1 or 2. I feel like there's more depth there in the bullpen with guys that they trust to eat up some more innings. So, I mean, that's always going to be beneficial for your club.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, we'll cap that game off. 1-0 loss, 2 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 11 men left on base. So just not all in all, not a good offensive performance out of the Bearcats on Sunday. That's what it came down to.
If you give up 1 run, you should expect to win the game.
Yeah. Especially on a Sunday.
Yep.
Any game. Yep. Got to score to win.
Score to win.
Definitely have to cross the plate to win a ball game.
All right, well, let's move over into last night's win.
Oh, baby, fire me up.
8-0 win over the number 9 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers, at their place in the midweek. First off, pitching a shutout against an SEC team, pitching a shutout in general, pitching a shutout in a midweek. They did it all, which is shocking. So I'm going to start this by shouting out all the dudes that towed the rubber for the Bearcats last night. Dylan Schuler, Brennan Garula, Dominic Morrow, Carson Marsh, Joel Pinheiro. Fantastic job. I was just texting my brother and a couple other people, like, to think of when I was on the team and, like, to even comprehend shutting out anyone in a midweek. I don't know. We've come a long way, boys. That was quite the sight to see.
And I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to today about this, but it's like you take Bischel and you said it 3 years ago and it was like, he's going to figure it out. Oh, how many years is it going to take to figure it out? Oh, when are you going to get comfortable here? And he was comfortable day one. If you missed it, he was comfortable in his first year here. He was picked last in the Big 12 and finished 5th. He was comfortable in year 2. But he finally, I think, from my point of view, for playing for him the last 2 years, I think he finally put all the pieces together that, like, I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but I think he finally is in a comfortable position where he has all the pitchers that he wants, and he has all the hitters that he wants, and those two are meshing in like the right time, and they're all coming together as one, and they're all working as one unit. I mean, granted, we had good pitchers and good hitters our first 2 years. Don't get me wrong, but it was a matter of time until everything was clicking. And I mean, buddy, we could go above and beyond this year.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge combination, right? Like he also was making do with what he had. Not that was bad, but like Carrington Cross and Landon Vitterick, both guys that were there prior to Bischel, but played into his system
and stayed
very well. Stayed. I mean, you were a guy who was there before him. Nate Taylor was a guy who was committed before. Like, I get what. Carson Marsh. Like a lot of these guys aren't necessarily his guys. I've been super impressed with like how quickly he's been able to make do with what he has. But to your point too, like it's interesting to see here in year 3, like we're starting to reap the benefits of recruiting, Big 12, money, NIL, all of that stuff. Also combined with winning and just being able to recruit. So it's definitely cool to kind of see the pieces come together here in year 3, especially with 19 newcomers to this roster.
Yeah,
like 19. A lot of new guys. So that's a great point there. Definitely interesting I'm super excited to kind of see all these pieces come together.
I mean, and that's another thing you can even point out, like 19 newcomers, but like you go to another school down the road, another state over, they're bringing in 25, 30 newcomers a year. Like, and that's another thing. Like he brought in way more freshmen than he did transfers. And you look at that, and there was a clip of him or an article on him. Like he personally said like he wants to develop these kids from day one as 18-year-old freshmen. He can buy in or buy a couple transfers from the portal, as you could say nowadays with NIL, but like he wants to develop these 18-year-old freshmen and buy into his process as well. I mean, look at Pitts, look at Coates. I mean, I don't see them going anywhere after this year, and I hope they stay, but like I can see these freshmen that came in this year, look at Tyransky, they all just want to buy into his process and his plan.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely easy to buy in when it works, though, and it's obviously
working.
Work.
Yeah.
I was going to shout those guys out too, Kling, Pitts and Coates. We kind of talked. I know we talked about like all off season, losing Vitterick, losing Cross. We're going to need guys to step up. Those guys look great right now.
Yeah,
they're dialed.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing me and you have touched on. I feel like Cole is like, yes, they performed in those 6-7 hole late in the season. Not a whole lot of stats, kind of guys coming at them a little bit. Like that's going to be a bit of an adjustment when guys know who they are. And I thought they both showed a ton of maturity just as far as in their at bats, and obviously were able to put up some numbers there too.
Yeah, and same with Enzo. They all just look so comfortable. It's like they're taking good pitches.
So comfortable.
You see a lot of like young players, they get antsy or they swing at like good balls. Like it's a good pitch, yes, but you should lay off of it. And they just aren't doing that right now. They look really, really comfortable. And I mean, you can tell they're having success early in the year. So it's good to see.
Yeah, the Bearcat, back to that Auburn game, we were able to score on a wild pitch in the first, and then a Mitchell sac fly in the second for a 2-0 to lead, and then we were able to kind of bust it open there in the 8th and 9th. We got a couple clips for you. First, the RBI single from the freshman Enzo and Felice.
Liner smashed into left field for an RBI single. In to score Coates. 3-0 Cincinnati.
Looked like Dubs was fired up after that one.
Dubs.
And now we'll go to the Christian Mitchell double in, I believe, I can't remember if it was the 8th or the 9th, but couldn't quite get this one over the monster.
Yeah, top 9.
2-1 is crushed. Deep left, off the War Eagle wall. 2 runs will score. And the throw into second is offline. And it's a 2-run double for Christian Mitchell. It is all Bearcats as they have put up 4 more here in the 9th inning.
Gotta love it. Gotta love just no quit out of that team, tacking them on. I know we even laid down a couple bunts up like
4 for 4?
Up like 7, but like, you know what? If you're up 7 runs in a midweek, anything could happen. If you don't like it, play better.
Yeah. Play better down there and
pick it up and throw it to first base, get the out.
Yeah. Practice it. You know what? You can practice it. You can practice. I was telling one of the guys on the team, I was like, we could literally stand in our dugout. You know how in football they hold up those play calling signs? We could hold up a play calling sign and say, we are bunting here. And I doubt 75% of the country could not field a.
It is crazy to watch like how many of like high level teams seriously
they don't practice
struggle. Yeah.
It's just
even the announcers were like listening to the announcers. They're like, this is a situation where they will probably bunt here.
Yeah.
And then we bunt in it and we get on base or they throw it away or something. It's like even the announcers know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Few guys with multi-hit nights last night. Christian Mitchell was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Quentin Coates was 2 for 5 with an RBI. Jack Natilli was 2 for 4 with a walk. Enzo was 3 for 5 with an RBI. Huge night for him. 3 nights for the kid. SEC first game against an SEC opponent. How about that?
Not even.
And then Derek Pitts, 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 walks, which again showing the ability to was really working some counts and taking those walks when they'll give them to him, especially with his speed on the bases.
That whole buy-in thing is, I mean, like you said, I mean, did you see the starting pitcher? He was up to. I think he was like 75 pitches in 4 innings.
He was at like 50 pitches in the second inning.
Everybody was getting the first pitch because he would try to bite with that little slider he had or the curveball, whatever, sharp SEC arm. Got a sharp curveball. He's trying to lead everybody off, bite on the outside corner. We're taking it, like he's trying to throw cheese up at our letters and we're taking it 2-2, make it 3-2. So he has to come over the plate. It's just, we talk about it all the time, and I don't think we're ever going to stop talking about it. It's the process. Something in that team, something in that locker room is buying in real quick and real fast, and it's looking real good.
Well, you got to see it last night too. Like again, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. Like really, all weekend didn't hit the cover off the ball. Yeah, but you talk about just like grinding out a team for 9 innings, and you got a 2-0 lead if you're able to pitch it well and get it to the 8th, and then. That's finally like you talk about trust in the process, right? Like you trust that you busted open late in the game if you just stick to it. And I think you saw that happen last night.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Like you said, though, we're not necessarily hitting the cover off the ball. A lot of singles, but hey, when we get people on, we've already. I mean, I think it's 15 to 16 stolen bases.
Yep.
Yeah.
90%.
Let's talk about that here quick because. I know I had a couple people ask me about it and whatever. The Bearcats, they hit 250 batting average through those first 4 games. Not terrible, not great. 360 slugging percentage, like Cole said, not a whole lot of extra base hits mixed in there. And then 44 strikeouts through 4 games, which not great. I know someone kind of asked me if that was like a concern. Not really. I think this team has been hitting in the bubble for most of their preseason. Hasn't gotten outside a ton. You guys also know how it is when you just like face the same pitchers for 6 months and then you see a different look. Like not everyone's fastball moves the same. Not everyone's slider moves the same. Where like I don't know, you're expecting a pitch and it just may not look like what you. I don't know.
I don't think you build up that concern until week 4, week 5, maybe like first or second weekend in conference play. But these first few weekends, shit's gonna happen. But if you don't, adjust to it, which I don't see anything that we're saying is we're not going to adjust to it. Look at last year. Look at the UNLV series. Look at the UC San Diego series. I told you guys earlier. I think we struck out 45 times in 8 games. Like it's gonna happen. Like it's early in the year. Like we're trying to figure out each other, trying to figure out our like approach at the plate and stuff like that. So it's like, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And I think last night, a lot of strikeouts, but they were also working and extending a ton of it. It's like, yes, I know it sucks that they ended in strikeouts, but the amount of worked counts, fouled off pitches, like extending those 2 strike at bats was definitely a sign to me where like not a huge concern there.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned it right before we started recording here, but like you can counter it almost with the stolen base numbers or percentage with the free base numbers, because if you're getting free bases, I think it was 25 walks and 8 hit by pitches.
Yeah, we got 25 walks, 8 hit by pitches. We scored 25 runs, and we were 15 of 16 stolen bases. So I think, like to your point, you could also counter that of like, we struck out 45 times and didn't hit extra base hits, and we still scored that many runs, like just based off of what we're doing on the bases and free bases. And
I think that just shows the potential of like if teams are going to give us first base, we're going to probably end up on second base sometime within the next at bat or two. And all these like strikeouts that will turn into just putting the ball in play or a fly ball or a ground ball, that's all going to start producing runs then. So then, I mean, it's just going to make this offense more dangerous than it is already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think you can be a little negative about it, or you can also be optimistic that we're walking away 3-1, not hitting that great and producing just strictly off of the style of play and the base running and the offense.
Yeah, I mean, I love this clip from JB, our head coach. I loved it. Like if you go back and look at that ending video of what our camera guy was in the huddle about, and he said, we're expected to win these games. Like we're going to come in here and expect to win these games, not because they have a number next to their name, not because of their name on their front of the chest, but like we expect to come in here and win these ball games, because if we stick to our brand of baseball, we're going to win a lot of ball games. And sticking to your brand of baseball and playing within a nine guy lineup and doing your own job is going to win you a lot of ball games. And you saw it right there. Like every guy did their job. They played their brand of baseball. You know, their other team couldn't defend their brand of baseball. And, you know, Auburn got out of their comfort zone a little bit after we were putting the ball in front of home plate a little bit. So, I mean, Bischel said it perfectly. It's like, I mean, there's going to be a lot more of those coming, because I think they're going to keep getting better and better at their brand of baseball.
Yeah, I think the expectation thing too is something I wanted to touch on at the end. So I do want to bring that back up. That was a really good point. What were you going to say, Cole?
Last thing I was just going to mention after we recapped all the games is defenses look solid too, which is good to see. That's a big part of you see in all the pitching success and stuff like that is defense looked good to start the year. So if you play clean defense, you're more than likely going to have a pretty good shot to win games as well, especially when you're maybe not hitting the ball the best. So
yeah. And a massive shout out to the pitching staff. Through those first 4 games, they have an ERA of 2.3, a batting average against of 173. And through 35 innings, they've given up 22 hits, 11 runs, 9 of them earned, only 18 walks and 39 strikeouts. So big things out of the staff in week 1. I mean, honestly, Corey, if like looking back at last year, I feel like that, like Cole touched on it, like we were missing a few of those pieces to really make a run at winning a regional and moving on. So I mean, yeah, I'm super optimistic about the pitching staff, and definitely great signs after week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love where this trend's going. I mean, we're 4 games in, but buddy, if this keeps going, if this keeps going up and to the right, I think this is going to end pretty well.
Yeah, and talking about that, I know it is way too early, and I was throwing some rage bait tweets out there. But if you check on Warren Nolan, the RPI today, the Bearcats are sitting at number 2 in the country, which is always a fun sight to see. Again, this doesn't mean anything until like mid-April probably, but yeah, it's always a fun sight if you want to take a peek at that before. It'll change even if we don't lose. So yeah, take a peek at it now. But yeah, that will recap this week. We will briefly touch on UAB, who will we be traveling to play next. Again, small sample size, so I'm not going to dive too deep into their squad. They are coming into this series at 2-2. They did get a huge Friday night opening day victory over the number 13 Florida Gators. And then they won their midweek over North Al this week, 15-3. So the boys have definitely they got midweek upsets last year. They were sitting right around 500 as a team. Definitely not a pushover. Again, beat Florida on a Friday. They're again, before I go over their rotation from last week, I have no idea with this series starting tomorrow on if they're going to bump those Friday guys up to Thursday or if they're going to stick with the original rotation or I guess throw another guy Thursday, keep their guys slotted.
Like a second midweek starter almost.
Yeah, I do know the Bearcats did release their rotation here a couple minutes ago. We will be starting Nate Taylor Thursday, Logan Knight Friday, Adam Brower Saturday, and then the old TBD on Sunday. So obviously I think sometimes you see if one team makes a move that the other team might jump on board and do that as well. So we'll not be shocked at all if tomorrow we see Mason Steele, the JUCO transfer for UAB. Last week, he went 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts against a really talented Gator lineup. JUCO transfer, so don't have any other stats from last year or previously in his career. But, definitely, someone to kind of open your eyes a little bit, I think, after what they did last week. I don't think this is going to be a pushover series, especially week 2 on the road. The boys have been on the road for a while. So, I'm expecting a pretty competitive series in Birmingham. I do believe that the Bearcats are going to be able to get to this pitching staff on day 2 and 3. Their Saturday starter last week, he got absolutely shelled. I mean, that's also a terrible spot for him coming into a pissed off Florida team.
Oh God. Yeah. Let me tell you how it is.
Yeah. Last year, not fantastic numbers either. Had a 7.9 ERA and around 11 starts. And then their Sunday guy, Chase Ingram, no stats on him from last year, but last week he went 4 1/3, 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then last year he had a 5.37 ERA with 11 starts. So little bit of experience out of the Sunday guy. Not a terrible outing last week. I do think that it's also a tough weekend to judge. I mean, when you're going up against a team like Florida, like some of their offensive and pitching numbers, like their lineup's stacked. We all know the dudes that Florida's running out there on the mound. So I think my biggest takeaway is don't take this team for granted at all. They snuck up and beat Florida, so there's no reason they couldn't do it to us, especially at home.
Yeah, and they got some wheels on the base path. Did you see that? I'm looking at their stolen bases. They're 11 for 11. They slug about the same as us. They got a little less doubles, same home runs, and about the same amount as at bat. So, I mean, they look like they can swing it and run it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think JP hit on it, though. It's just especially early in the season, some of the road trips, it's like week 2 or weekend number 2 of the road trip. I've been sleeping in a hotel for a week. It can cause a little bit of some guys to get uncomfortable or just have that itch to get back
early
home.
Fatigue.
Especially early fatigue, not having every training facility and all that stuff necessarily there with you that you would on campus and stuff like that, or being comfortable in your own bed and stuff like that. And we saw it with you guys last year, Kling. I think that was a big part of the out west trip, that you guys kind of just started to get a little sluggish there at the end. And you could see that you guys just needed to get back home to Clifton and get rejuvenated. So I think that's the biggest thing going into this weekend will just be if we can continue playing the way we are and the guys are ready to go. I do like that it starts on Thursday, though, so that there's games and we're not taking days off, full days off. It will be I think probably their 3rd hotel for the trip, I would assume. So picking up your stuff, moving, it's constant travel. So I'm interested to see how they handle that. But I think if they continue to play like they have been for the first 4 games, then we'll be just fine. We'll find a couple wins in there.
I think too.
First big test for the guys. I mean, long road trip. So
yeah, I think too. This is the first. Like, I love being able to say this, but I truly feel like in 4 games, at least from the first 4 that we've watched, I feel like we're going to have the pitching advantage a lot in a 4-game series. So I don't know. 4. I mean, we all know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times, let alone 4 in a weekend. So I would be very, very happy with 3 wins, walking home at 6-2, coming back to Clifton. So, yeah. Previewing UAB. Not really sure what to expect. We'll see. Another guy I wanted to talk about that we didn't get to see is Cal Sefcik this week. I'm sure he has to be injured or something.
I think Tim Adams had mentioned something about a possible injury.
Has to be, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's not a sickness because he was on the road, so I think he's probably just got a little tweaked something because he looked fine. He didn't look like injured or anything, so it's probably just a precautionary.
I think him and Luke were wrestling the other night, so it's probably before the season started.
All right, but then the last thing that I did want to touch on, and I'm kind of like hesitant bringing this up because I don't want it to come across the wrong way. But obviously, like, as we get all of these Bearcat fans starting to jump on board with the baseball and Bischel ball, starting to get on the train. Last night, we saw a ton of people on social media, right? Like, blowing this thing up. One thing that I would like to kind of challenge Bearcat fans with a little bit, now that we are in year 3, they made a regional last year. I'm not trying to say that we're some like Omaha expectation team, but in my opinion, like what Coach Bischel said, we're a good baseball team. Like, if we play good baseball, we should beat anyone. Like, they have the capability to beat anyone in the country. Yep. So I guess I just kind of want to challenge the fan base and everyone to kind of raise our expectation floor a little bit. And like, we not downplaying the win, but like midweek upsets happen all the time. Again, number 9 was a preseason ranking. Like, love the energy, but I would love to kind of see Cincinnati baseball as a whole kind of start to expect things like this to start happening a little more often. I'm curious kind of what your guys' thoughts are on that topic.
I mean, I totally agree. Like he said in the little snippet of the video last night, I mean, you come in that you go in that stadium and you just expect to beat those kind of teams if you stick to your style of baseball. So, I mean, like we've done, I guess, the last 2 years now with him here, it's just I think the ceiling's only going to get higher. And, you know, the expectation, like I said, like I wish you could snip that clip into it when I was you interviewed me 2 years ago. And like the expectation is going to be playing June baseball, the end of May baseball. That's going to be the expectation from here on out, just because I think that's what he expects from himself and his teams. And I think every year these fans should expect to this team to be playing in a regional year in and year out.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think even already, like, while Coach Bischel's been there, I think they've beaten plenty of good teams. I mean, made the regional. Big 12 schedule is not an easy schedule any year, as Coach Bischel has said multiple times. Constantly up there, like in the top 5, 6 in the Big 12 for both of his first 2 years. So I think, I mean, we've beaten really, really good teams, like top teams in the country. I don't think it should come necessarily as a huge surprise. Don't get me wrong. Like, yes, should totally be excited about winning games like that. But it's not like, OMG, I never would have expected us to beat Auburn. Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess that's where I'm like, and I know a lot of it's like Twitter trolling too. Like everyone just wants to post something funny and get likes and whatever. But yeah, I guess I just would like to see, I don't know, a little. I love the support. I want to keep saying more and more support on Twitter and everything. But Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, I would just like the newcomers coming along to think of this as like we're here in college baseball now. Like they're a good
chance
team
in any game we suit up for.
Right. I don't think any win is an upset anymore.
Yep. I'd agree.
Love it.
I mean, you can't be an upset when you just go in there. You're like, yeah, we're here. We're gonna win this baseball game.
Yeah.
So you either like me or don't.
Kling just brought up a great point. This episode and our Bischel Ball episodes are unofficially, but almost officially brought to you by Mio's Pizza right there in Clifton on Short Vine. Kling, where are the deals? I know before first pitch or any home or away game, they are doing, I believe, $2 Coors Lights, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then $3 Traveler whiskey lemonades.
$4 Traveler whiskey lemonades.
$4
every game brought to you by ESPN Plus will be streamed on TV there in Mio's Pizzeria, located on Short Vine and East Charleston Street, approximately, I think it said 850 feet away from the baseball stadium. So, hey, walk over there before a baseball game, get your beers in, get your pizza in, get your highlights in on TV, and
let's
walk
go get
over to
some
the game.
Bearcats baseball in.
And then you go watch Bearcats baseball.
There's nothing that would fire me up more than seeing like some people pack out Mio's for a road game.
Absolutely.
Watch the boys. That would be awesome.
It'll happen.
Mio's does a great job with everything. Students, fans. I mean, every sports team, they love
Families.
sports up there.
Families, the best.
Very
Post-game family dinner. Mio's.
Post-game beers.
Yeah.
Hospitality there is top notch. Top notch hospitality there at Mio's.
Yeah, they'll treat you.
All right, well, that wraps up our first Bischel Ball episode of the year. Thank you guys for listening. If you are listening, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. We really appreciate it. And let's go kick some UAB ass, and we will see you boys next week.